Coming up, the University of Iowa halts a diversity, equity, and inclusion leadership search.
And later, a University of Iowa professor is a TikTok sensation.
Welcome to DITV Now, your flash update on all the biggest headlines coming out of the Daily Iowan newsroom. I'm your host, Danny Whiskeyman.
And I'm your host, Shivansha Huja.
The University of Iowa has halted the search for the Associate Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is a result of candidates withdrawing after UI President Bruce Harold announced his retirement. The firm assisting with the search, Isaacson Miller Incorporated, recommended that it ended after candidates withdrew or indicated that they would withdraw from the selection process. According to the firm, changes in leadership usually disrupt searches for open positions. For now, Dr. Liz Tovar will keep working in this position. Interim Executive Vice President and Provost Kevin Kriegel says that she is a great fit for the job, saying, quote, "In the short time since Dr. Tovar was appointed Interim Associate Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, she has already made a significant impact by listening to and engaging with many parts of campus," end quote. Tovar's goal is to focus on transparency and accountability from the administration. She hopes to find a solution to the university's issue with recruiting and retaining diverse faculty and staff.
At 8 p.m. Eastern, President Donald Trump held his town hall on NBC and former Vice President Joe Biden on ABC. DITV News reporter Ashley Whale has more.
Last night, both presidential candidates hosted town halls instead of a formal second debate. NBC received backlash from both their employees and audience for scheduling Trump's town hall at the same time as Biden's. Over 100 Hollywood names across various platforms wrote a petition to NBC calling on them to cancel the town hall. The petition said, quote, "You are enabling the president's bad behavior while undercutting the Presidential Debate Commission and doing a disservice to the American public," end quote.
At President Trump's town hall, he made a number of false claims. Trump called mail-in voting corrupt and claimed that it would result in an increase in voter fraud as ballots would just be thrown away with his name on them. He claimed that, quote, "When I see thousands of ballots dumped in a garbage can and they happen to have my name on it, I'm not happy about that," end quote. There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud during mail-in elections.
On the topic of a coronavirus vaccine, Biden said that if scientists trust a vaccine, he would take it and consider making the vaccine mandatory for all Americans. Trump said the United States was, quote, "rounding a corner," end quote, with COVID-19. This claim comes after his recovery from COVID-19 earlier this month. Moderator Savannah Guthrie responded, quote, "Relative to the rest of the world, we have the worst death rate," end quote. Back in Biden's town hall, Biden avoided fully answering questions about Supreme Court packing. He said his position will depend on the Republicans' handling of nominee Amy Coney Barrett. With 18 days left until the election, getting information about these candidates is more important than ever. Check out the Daily Iowan online for more on both of these town halls.
Online classes can be draining, but there's a professor on campus trying to liven things up. Communication Studies Department Chair Dr. Kembrew McLeod begins his video lectures with something to make his students smile. In September, McLeod challenged UI President Bruce Harold to a dance-off. Little did he know, this video would lead to internet fame. McLeod student Chloe Weidel posted a video of McLeod's lecture on the social media platform TikTok.
When I first saw it, I thought it was hysterical.
Weidel captioned the post, quote, "Your college professors won't mess around, they'll be very serious," end quote. The video was viewed thousands of times in the first few hours. Now, the video has over 2.5 million views. When McLeod recorded his lecture, he had no idea it would be viewed outside the class.
I was literally imagining I was performing for no more than 300 students, not literally like 3 million people who ended up viewing it.
Both McLeod and Weidel have continued to share dance videos. McLeod hasn't settled into his fame yet.
You can look at the view counts, and that's one thing, but then when you have people you haven't heard from in a long time contacting you because of it, because they have kids who saw me on it, yeah, that's when I realized it was actually viral.
Harold has not responded to the dance-off challenge.
Hancher Auditorium showed off a new way to perform during a pandemic at Hancher Illuminated last night. Dancers performed outside wearing extravagant costumes using lights. The event showcased University of Iowa dancers and musicians, along with light effects from Quixotic. Attendees were able to walk around the building and see a showcase of performers inside and outside the building. The inside dancers were showcased together with live musicians, while the outdoor performers used slower movement to entrance the audience of all ages. The outdoor format gave people a way to see the show while still being safe.
I think that is really going to be very exciting for us to be able to explore that. And most importantly is to reach out to the community in this very chaotic time to say the arts are alive, thanks to institutions like Hancher Auditorium and the University of Iowa, who have been incredibly, incredibly supportive in this chaotic time.
Hancher is known for working with the university arts programs closely. This year was challenging, but the organizations have adapted to COVID-19 restrictions.
This is kind of a moment that we can all take, a moment of joy, a moment of happiness, and a moment of really, there again, bringing people together and giving these students an opportunity of a lifetime to remember forever.
As Hancher's first in-person event of the season, audience members were wowed by the university's performers and the unique opportunity to see a show. Summer is officially gone, so break out your jackets and hats for this weekend. Today we'll see a high of 56 and a low of 38. This weekend we'll see highs hovering around 55 and lows around 35.
Thank you for tuning in to DITV Now. We'll be back next week with the latest from Iowa City, the University of Iowa, and Hawkeye Nation. From Iowa City, I'm Danny Whiskeyman.
And I'm Siobhan Chahuja. Have a great weekend.